This is the video for Lesson 7 in Module 1, multiplying and dividing by 10 or 100 or 1000. So we're going to start with multiplication, and the first thing that I reminded the students of is that when we're multiplying, we want to make sure that our number is getting larger, and in order for our number to get larger, the decimal point needs to move to the right. The way we figure out how many spots it moves to the right is we look at our number our factor that we are multiplying by. In this case, it's 10, and 10 has 1 0 in it, so we jump one time to the right. So for example, we have 45 and 2/10 multiplied by 10, so we need to jump one spot to the right. We jump our decimal one spot to the right, and our answer is now 452. And a way to check what we're doing is we can ask ourselves, is 452 greater than 45? And the answer is yes. And when we multiply, numbers get larger, so that tells us that that makes sense. Another example of this problem, we can set up again. We have 45 and 2/10. We are multiplying, and this time we'll multiply by 100. When we are multiplying, we know we want to get larger, so we want to go to the right. So that's our reminder that we should go to the right. In this case, we have two zeros. We are getting 100 times bigger, and because we are getting 100 times bigger, we need to jump twice. So we jump once, twice. In this situation, we have to fill something into this blank space that's right here. So what digit do we fill into that blank space? We always will fill in a 0 to our blank spaces. So now we rewrite our number, and that question mark becomes a 0, and there's now a decimal there, and our new answer is 4,520. Now when we look at division and we want to move on to division, when we divide, we make numbers smaller. So in this case, we want to move to the left. In order to move to the left, we still look at our number out here, which tells us there's 1 0. We move one spot to the left, and we're able to get our answer of 4 52/100. Since 4 is smaller than 45, we know that we most likely did this correctly. The next problem that's up on the board, well, once again, we'll take 45 and 2/10. This time we'll divide by 100. So we know we want to get smaller. And when we want to get smaller, we make sure that we move to the left. This time we want to move to the left twice. So we jump once, twice. There's a decimal point now out here. And our new answer is 452 thousandths. And that is the introduction to dividing and multiplying by 10, 100, or 1000. So we also discussed in class the bottom of this page, which is page, I believe it's page 59. And one of the things that we discussed about page 59 that students need to be aware of is that when we have a whole number, most students think there's no decimal there to start, and we discussed that there is a decimal to start to the right of the ones place, and they need to be aware of that. So I'm just rewriting these problems to put that decimal to the right of the ones place so that everybody is aware that it's there. Then we have to figure out that we're dividing, and when we're dividing, so this whole entire row is going to be left because we're dividing on each of these. So that tells us to move left. In this case, we're moving one spot left. So we have our new answer. Over here, we're moving 2 spots left. So we need to fill something in over here where that question mark is. We have to remember that we should put a 0 in. And in this case, we're moving 3 spots left. And we have 2 question marks this time, so we need to fill in 2 zeros. On this row, we are multiplying, and when we're multiplying, we move to the right. So our little reminder, we're moving one spot in this one. There's 2 zeros here, so we're moving 2 spots. And there's 3 zeros here, so we're moving 3 spots. And we have a question mark in there that we need to fill in as a 0. Next, we're working down here. These ones we would want to rewrite because they're whole numbers, and when there's a whole number, there's a decimal at the end, which many students forget about that decimal there. They think there is no decimal. So I have them rewrite it in order to remind them of what to do. And because we are dividing, that we see here, these are all division, we're going to move to the left. So we're going to move one spot left in this case. And then in the next one, there's 2 zeros, so we move 2 spots left. And then in the next one, there's 3 zeros, so we move 3 spots left. And those are some examples of how we move through the number system. And then we had started our practice set in class. And the first thing that we need to do on our practice set is we need to take this first number, put it on the top row, and then we needed to write it in words, which is 3 and 452 thousandths. Then we need to actually solve the problem. So we're going to look at the problem. We're multiplying. We want to get larger, so we're moving to the right. There's 2 zeros, so we take 2 jumps to the right, and we get our answer, and we put it up here. This answer that we have up there, we are now going to take, and we're going to put on the bottom line. So this is our new answer. And then we're going to write our new answer in word form. We would do letter C the same way. The division problem is set up the same way. And then we come to some questions 3, 4, and 5, which are more challenge questions for kids to try. So we had discussed going through word problems. A manufacturer made 7,234 boxes. We're going to circle an underline of coffee stirs. Each box contains 1,000 stirs. How many stirs did they make? Explain your thinking and include a statement. So we can then take our 7,234 boxes of stirs, and each one has 1,000. And now here's a problem they can solve based on what we just learned. It's bringing together everything we did. So we're multiplying, so we know we need to jump to the right. There is a decimal over here. We need to jump 3 spots. So then we can jump our 1, 2, 3 spots. And there are 7,234,000 stirs. This is an example of where this all comes into use. And that's how we multiply and divide by 10, 100, and 1,000.